paper magic will survive like the heat death of the universe, and will...
Oh, it's a smuggler's copter. Would you like to crew this? And then it crashes because they don't understand arithmetic.
All your cards belong to me.
2 minutes into macing him in the eyeballs, I switched to pepper spray. He's like, yeah, it's downright refreshing. And went back to the mace.
Magic is dying. I'm done. Selling everything.
I might be a hoarder. And
I
yes,
don't have the crayons or glue to explain this to you right now.
What, are you gonna die twice?
Oil will be worthless before magic cards will.
well, okay, Dr. Man.
That's Mr. Dr. Professor Jason.
Let's do this. We're podcast. This is the podcast, JJ.
Yes.
This is the podcast. I don't care how long it takes Corbin to do his thing. We're starting. The clock is ticking.
Well, in that case, welcome in, everybody. It's Brainstorm Brewery. Was that good enough for you, Jason?
No.
Do it
No?
again.
All right, here we go. And welcome in, everybody. It's Brainstorm Brewery. I'm Corbin Hostler.
Okay. Now
How
do it,
was
but
that
you're
better?
like an old timey sea captain.
I don't know how to do that.
All right, that would have been a great riff.
Listen up, mateys. We're in for a rough ride tonight. It's Brainstorm Brewery. We got the white whale, Corbin Hostler.
See
we
how
got-
hard was that? DJ
we got-
yes-anded me.
We got resident Ishmael Hunter, the beer hunter himself, Jason Alt.
Jason, I gave that one, you know how they say the mind is the greatest computer, all that. I gave that one like a split second of thought. I was like, do I want to go down this road? Do I want to try to stumble my way through this to help? And I decided no. It just wasn't worth it.
The mind is the greatest. Who said that?
And that's why you're the Moby Dick in this scenario.
Who said the mind is that a Mark Zuckerberg quote? Because that guy is the greatest robot.
Well, if no one said it, then I said it, and I can take credit.
Quote Corbin Hostler, quote Corbin Hostler.
You know that thing no one's ever said before? Balloon butt fart party.
No, that one's definitely been said before.
Wow. Well,
Probably also by Corbin.
Yeah, right.
if you haven't noticed, everybody, I am an Airbnb post-event. I'm back from the Flesh and Blood event, which had 900 plus people playing in a tournament, a pre-release tournament on Friday. It was a big deal. If you're into, games that aren't Magic, you might want to consider checking it out. It was pretty
Flesh
cool.
and Blood is legit. Imagine Magic the Gathering, but you only have one creature, and every card in your deck is either a lightning bolt or a healing salve. So it's amazing.
Something like that.
It's very complicated.
Yeah. I'm yet to have actually played a game, but I think I understand the game much better.
I
now.
played it long enough to realize there's a guy named Chain who plays like a dredge deck, and then I
Yes.
never played anything else, and then nobody else played anything else either.
Yep, Chain was the best deck.
5 decks in the top 8. We did it. We magicked Flesh and Blood.
However, Chain did not win the tournament. Prism did. And if you don't know what we're talking about, now you know how
Good.
all your relatives feel whenever you talk about Magic.
Yep.
How's that feel? Let that one sink in.
Yeah,
Has it
Dredge
sunk in
lost to
Dredge lost to
Enchantress?
Stacks. I think it was to
I
Stacks.
guess,
Yeah.
kinda, yeah.
Like Stacks and Enchantress. It did run them out of cards and lock them out. It was an interesting tournament, to be sure. But on the Magic side of things, obviously we've got Innistrad coming out, and next week will be the Innistrad set review. But this week, before we get tied up with new Standard and new Werewolves and Innistrad and all that over the next couple weeks and months, we want to clean out the mailbag. So it is time for a mailbag episode. Cue the mailbag music.
Do we have mailbag music?
I think that might have been a budgetary cut. This is awkward now.
So we're just gonna sit here for like the length of what the song would be?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're to the bridge now. Second chorus.
And speaking of the bridge, we got
And
pirate. We got pirates, and we got Ixalan, and we got
what do pirates have to do with bridges?
a bridge of a ship.
Yeah,
The
that one.
USS Enterprise had a bridge. I don't think pirate ships had bridges.
Yeah, no, they did.
They absolutely did.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
And I said sea captain. I didn't say pirate ship captain. That was
A pirate ship captain is a sea captain, like a rectangle is a square. Like
yeah, but like you just like this is the only possibility here.
I was actually thinking
Don't
about
argue.
the Seth Meyers Sea Captain impression. I was trying to figure out if I could recreate it, and I just came to the conclusion that it wasn't worth it.
But your mind is the
attention-
greatest computer.
All right. Attention, $1 patron. I let this one cook in the inbox for about a month or so.
Yep.
From Alex.
Bump up to
Hey,
5, we'll read it right away, dude.
Hey guys, when/if big events come back in some capacity, do you think vendors will have they said cars. I do read emails verbatim.
I hope so.
I assume they meant cards. Will have cars priced differently than before the pandemic. Like, will they either want to dump cards so they'll be cheaper than market, or they haven't taken enough inventory so they'll be more expensive than market? Same for buy listing. Thanks, Alex from Grand Rapids. Also, fuck Ohio. It's so boring.
All right. So before DJ gives you an educated answer, I want to say what my layman's view of the situation. And my take is that the first GP will be insane for dealers buying cards. They're going to want to buy everything they can possibly buy.
And people are going to have a lot of cards that they normally would have sold for 2 years. So there's going to be a backlog of selling stuff for sure. So
Check out
prices will probably
DJ.
be really bad, I would think. If everyone's trying to sell, even if dealers really want to buy, they've been able to buy list online, kind of. So, like, I imagine there will be a lot of people wanting to sell, and prices probably won't be
Maybe.
competitive.
Maybe. I think that, I don't know. I think that there's going to be all of the above, right? People are going to want to sell, but dealers are also just going to want to buy, and they're going to be just concerned with
basically
taking as much
where it's
inventory
at.
home.
That's basically where it's at. Is like, I don't expect there'll be any massive, like, this is a selling GP, buy every card in the case. I don't think this will be a buying GP where you bring like all your cards and then you buy list them all for 20x over retail or whatever. It's just going to be Magic on heroin or Magic on crack or what. It's just going to be like a big event. It's going to be like
It's gonna be
first
GP Vegas,
levels of
yeah.
just, like, it's just going to be like a ramped up, just, there will be lots of transactions. There will probably be arbitrage opportunities to be made, but you're just going to be wanting to, like, just go there, and there will probably be some deals to be made on both ends of the spectrum. But, like, it's just going to be a very big event.
And cross your fingers
unless
that
it's secret GP. Unless it's secret GP.
cross your fingers that there's coverage.
When you do heroin, you're like, I'm ready to do lots of transactions on account of the heroin.
Yes, you're ready to do lots of transactions to get more heroin. Pay attention. Like,
I did a bunch of heroin. You know what I want to do now? I want to sit at a dealer's table for 3 hours. And
yeah,
then
to
go
get
through my
money
boxes.
to feed the, yeah, like.
That's not a GP on heroin. That's a GP when they need heroin. That's a GP without heroin.
I mean, these probably aren't the YouTube buzzwords we're looking for.
Let's hear some breaking bolts.
We were
How
talking
that?
about Captain Marvel. She's a great heroine.
Good job.
You
Jason.
sexist fucking algorithm. You sexist algorithm. And you know what really helps the algorithm? Say, you know what? I think Captain Marvel ruined the MCU. You
I was
see
just
that a
gonna
couple
say,
times.
no, the real algorithm trick is to make a certain type of video that, yeah.
Welcome to Brainstorm Brewery. Captain Marvel ruined the MCU, but not as much as the other Captain Marvel from the comics. She's bad too. We did it.
I don't
That-
know. You
that
know
was
what I
good.
did?
Brie Larson ruined Star Wars. There, we covered all of our bases. This video is going to go straight to the top.
Breaking bolt time. Breaking bolt time. Break.
Oh, yeah, breaking bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking bulk. The end.
To the moon like crypto. I have an Ice Age Black Uncommon that I don't think has been reprinted. I'd be very surprised if it was, but
I don't know what it is.
A Black Ice Age Uncommon?
Correct.
Is it Demonic Consultation?
It is not. It is
Leeches.
not. I did find Demonic
Leeches is a
Consultation.
white Homelands Uncommon, sir.
Okay, well, leeches should be a black card. We can all agree. on that.
Is it Caravex?
No.
Is it... Does it blow up a land?
It does.
So it's...
Surprisingly, that narrows it down to more than
Icequake.
one card. It is Icequake. Icequake is
I'm good at Ice
effectively
Age.
Black Stone Rain. It is black, black 1, destroy target land. If that land is snow covered, Icequake deals 1 damage to the land's controller. So you pay them a little bit.
That's a weak rate.
I mean, it's still 3 mana for a Stone Rain. It's worse Sinkhole, but what are you gonna do?
It's no Cryoclasm.
No, but it does destroy any land. I believe Cryoclasm only hits blue-white.
No, Cryoclasm only hits islands and plains.
Oh yeah, blue-white is yeah. Yeah, Icequake is roughly 75 cents. You can find these in your local Ice Age bulk that has been picked through of demonic consultations. And in my experience, most people leave these in.
So in honor of Innistrad, we're going to Dark Ascension here. Set has very few cards worth picking. But one of them is this colorless uncommon.
Oh, Chalice of Life.
Yeah, so Chalice of Life, for those of you who
it's the
like the transform cards
from that block.
Yeah. There's not a whole. There's like Mask of Avacyn from OG Innistrad. There's not a whole lot of colorless uncommons from that, but like this was one of my OG picks. This was one like back when I was an FNM grinder.
Yeah, it's a great one
at the local game store, just barely trying to afford a standard deck. This is one of the ones that
you tap it to gain a life, and then if you have 30 life, it flips into something that dings.
If you have 10 life more than your starting life total,
this was one of the first cards they made that design distinction with of more than your starting life total.
Yeah.
Because it was like Sarah Ascendant in M11, and then...
we got one of those in a 2-headed giant event, so it's sort of like, oh, yeah, you're at 30, huh? Okay, you did it. You have turn 1 Baneslayer. Magic fun.
The other Trepidation Blade out of OG Innistrad was also an uncommon worth picking for a while. But yeah, Chalice of Life is a cool card, and it's worth about 75 cents. It's surprising that most of the uncommon Lord cycle out of Dark Ascension, despite having been worth money at various points in the past, Stromkirk Captain, Jogskull Captain, Diregraph Captain, none of these cards are
easy to reprint those.
Yeah, none of them are currently worth money. I think they've all gone through some amount of reprints.
They're still worth picking. Like that's a distinction. They are not worth money, but they are worth picking. That is a distinction.
I agree. Because especially in the case of Stromkirk Captain, for instance, it was reprinted in Commander 2017, and that version is 70 cents. So you would look at that one and go like, oh, that's a pick. But you look at the one from Dark Ascension, and the price is 45 cents, and you're like, okay, eh. But yeah, you're absolutely right, DJ. You pick those, even if they're not something you sell at that moment.
Well, the other factor to those is they are cards that are not sold as one-ofs.
Right.
Like they're sold as parts of decks. So people will buy your Diregraph Captain at the same time as they buy your Scarab God and TCG Player, and then you pay no additional shipping to get rid of that Diregraph Captain, even though it's not a pick, quotes, and you list it for 50 cents or whatever, and normally you'd be getting not worth your time, but like these are cards that just get put into the 99s. It's the same reason you list Soul Rings, the same reason you don't list Soul Ring to sell one Soul Ring and nothing else. You list Soul Ring so that you list it and you sell it as like part of an 8-card order that has Diregraph Captain and Scarab God and Micaeus the Unhallowed and all those other cards, and then you save on shipping and total fee costs.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Jason, you're up.
I'm up. Oh no, I'm not prepared for this.
Oh,
it's fine. So my pick of the week is it Gold versus Golgari dual deck. You can get them under $75. They're kind of nutty. They have Life from the Loam, Golgari, Grave Troll. They have
Isochron Scepter.
Isochron Scepter. It's all kind of neat stuff in there, including this card, which was reprinted in this originally in Apocalypse. Name this multicolored uncommon.
Quicksilver Dagger?
No.
Temporal something.
It's a Putrefy wasn't Apocalypse, was it?
No, Putrefy was Ravnica.
That's right. Yeah. I wasn't sure if I had one before that. Apocalypse multicolor uncommon.
I think Apocalypse had a 6 mana thing where you destroyed a creature and got saplings equal to its CMC.
Yo, yeah. It had
Death.
It was like 8 mana. It was like 8 mana or something absurd.
I think it was 4 green and black, or maybe 6 of green and black. 6 of green and black seems.
It is. No, I know what you're talking about because there's a cycle of those. There's the blue one that makes saprolings and bounces.
Yeah.
And then the
Artifact
green white
mutation
one,
or
the green white one
mutation.
shatters and makes saprolings, but the black green one is 8 mana. We're super off track here, but that's
No,
fine.
the red green one shatters. The green white one blows up an enchantment.
I think the green white one's both. It's aura mutation, right? It's both. It's aura.
Oh,
it's artifact
that's
or
why it's
enchantment.
rare. Yeah. Okay.
We did it.
Anyway,
We did it, Reddit.
I will tell you this is in the Golgari deck. And it is multicolor, but I didn't say gold. I said multicolor.
Golgari Germination.
that's a Ravnica card. You were close. You were closer than usual. You picked the correct color combination.
Don't say Golgari before Ravnica.
Yeah, like
This is Apocalypse. It is the split card Life and Death.
Oh, okay, yep, you got me.
So I always pick split cards, and these were all just set aside, but these are $2 and selling out. Life and Death is, I don't know, I guess people would probably get an old Sticky Fingers. Old Sticky Fingers is I think the actual most built deck. I think everyone's building that stupid werewolf deck to be like, no, we love werewolves. Did we get a werewolf commander? Nope. Was there a werewolf EDH deck? Nope. Well, can I use my Moon Mist on the new werewolves? No. I'm gonna build it anyway. You do that. You show wizards. Oh, if we all really believe and we all build a werewolf deck and put them all on every site that EDH Rex scrapes, the wizards will have no choice but to give us the werewolf commander we've been asking for a decade. And no, they don't have to do that, and they won't. And you can die mad about it because Wizards is Team Edward, and they don't care about werewolves at all.
I like how the average werewolf player hasn't hit puppy puberty yet in this scenario.
I want to build a werewolf deck.
Good.
And you have to use that voice. Like you have to change your voice to what
all
Jason
the pieces are there, provided that your deck is 40% the artifacts that go in every tribal deck. So if you put Vanquisher's banner and Coat of Arms and enough crap in the deck that you
Icon
just put
of
a bunch of werewolves, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Then your Immerwolf comes into play as a 7/6
adaptive automaton.
Now you're talking.
You're basically like horse tribal at this point. You swap out 10 cards, you're a horse tribal deck.
Yeah, it's a sweet deck. I can't wait.
Yep. So build that, you idiots. But if you don't want to build that, build the actual most built Old Sticky Fingers, which is a graveyard combo deck that enables my pick of the week also. So Life and Death. Whomst among us knew this would be a real card? Couple of bucks retail.
This is what make a sapling or everything gets -1/-1. I don't remember what this one actually does.
Make a sapling or return a creature from your graveyard to play, and you lose life equal to that creature's. It doesn't say mana value, but we all know that it's really mana value.
I think the very first build of my Teneb commander deck had this back in the
this was an FNM promo, and people were furious. They were not into this being an FNM promo. And an FNM promo is $5 right now, which seems too cheap to me. If you have these in your bulk, and if you have Apocalypse bulk, you've got these in it, but also you've got Apocalypse bulk, so that's cool.
Oh yeah, Apocalypse is a very fun set to pick.
Yeah, so you did it.
All right, well, congrats.
I'm gonna pick another email.
Do you know that there are 2 different artists on Life and Death?
I did not.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. This is a question that could have a very long answer, but so it may not be correct to prove and pick it for a mailbag episode because it could be an entire episode, but we will try to do the other emails justice too. Question from a $20-ish patron. Ish is a weird.
Mean? What does that mean?
I'm hoping it is above the 19-ish threshold, I guess. It's from Mark.
Don't dox them.
Jeskra.
Don't dox them.
Hey guys, I am a $20-ish patron, and I was wondering, since you're all self-employed, what do you do in terms of pension savings? Is it all in magic inventory that you will cash out of eventually? Do you have separate savings accounts, or will you simply live off your wives' pensions? Thanks for all the great episodes, Mark. P.S. Back in the day, there were plenty of Aladdins. That guy's not legendary.
There were plenty of Aladdins, huh? You had the Disney Aladdin, then you had the direct to VHS Aladdin 2.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he
you
linked
had
us
the
with a
live
Wikipedia.
action.
Jesus, yeah.
He linked us with a Wikipedia article to the name Aladdin. So we
get
have
outta here.
some
He recited his sources, Jason.
Aladdin from 1001 Nights, Aladdin from the 1992 Disney film, the main character of Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic,
So he
Muhammad
just
Aladdin.
linked the disambiguation page from Wikipedia. Get
Yeah,
outta
he just
here.
he just crushed you in this, like
Oh,
preemptively.
he crushed me ish.
Okay. Wow, I like this already. To answer this question though, over the years, I guess you could say I went full time Magic in like 2015 or so. And over that time, I've had a mix of W-2 jobs within Magic and otherwise. So at times, I've had access to a 401k, but mostly I have a Roth IRA that I max out every year. Any money I have in Magic cards is money I have in Magic cards, and it's great. I don't really consider that. I mean, those are an investment, right? But that's not really something I consider part of my financial portfolio, so to speak, right? I just max out a Roth IRA. My wife has a retirement account as well, so we have college accounts set up for our kids, and you try to be as responsible as you can be with what's available to you as a contractor.
Corbin's an idiot. Okay, here's the deal. You will not need a retirement account. A Roth IRA is not going to do shit when the going rate for a 20-ounce bottle of water is 7 bullets.
Yeah.
I am doomsday prepping. I could be taking money and putting it into a Roth IRA like a nerd, but I'm buying bags of food. I'm buying ammunition, and I'm buying matches. I'm buying camping supplies. I am doomsday prepping.
I'm getting a beer.
You
I
should be
can't.
too.
I can't with this.
New York is under... Every time you go on Twitter, there's a video of like 5 feet of water on the subway in New York, or like cars floating by in New Jersey. And you think, what are we doing to tackle climate change? Oh, nothing? Oh, okay, interesting. If you really think that when you're in your 50s, when it's time to retire, you don't think we're going to be in like either a Mad Max or Waterworld scenario? If you really think that's not going to happen, you're not paying attention. The world is going to collapse. Society will collapse. Bullets will be the new currency. I'm trading my Magic cards for ammunition right now. So, to answer your question, I'm employed by EDH Rec. I have several writing gigs. I max out a Roth IRA every year. I'm contributing to my own retirement. But also the doomsday prepping, though. That's real. That's a thing I'm doing.
I cannot imagine a more complete answer to your question.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the Roth IRA is one of those things that I have had on my to-do list for the past like 2 or 3 years. It continues to get put on the back burner, which may or may not be the best decision.
It's like it's like the opposite of how you want to do your stock market.
I understand.
When I was in pharmaceuticals, we had an insane employer 401k match, and I was putting a shitload of money in that. So like that's growing nicely. So like I had a sizable 401k going into it. So we're all self-employed, quote unquote, through Magic, but that doesn't mean we don't each have a half dozen irons in the fire. So between all that, we have sources of income where we are putting money away.
Mine is basically all Magic.
Mine is 6 different Magic things.
Yeah. Mine is like exclusively my personal store / business, and then that's basically it at this point.
I have 2 main investments, Liliana and Soren. Not the cards, my kids. I will go live with them.
I do have a separate savings account where I like put money. I have like a separate savings account that should absolutely be some sort of IRA, but I do have a separate
or hear me out for the algorithm. Crypto.
What if you had your money tied somewhere where it's not tied to the performance of the stock market, which is very susceptible to large systemic shocks from climate-related events. Just
Oh, I thought. Wait. No, I thought you were gonna say that the stock market was susceptible to large systemic shocks from like incels buying GameStop.
Yeah.
Like-
Or from Bane coming in and be like, I'm Bruce Wayne. They're like, I don't think you're Bruce Wayne. You're like, I am Bruce Wayne, and I'm selling all my stock, and now he's broke. They're going to repossess Wayne Manor because of what I did at the stock market today. And everyone there's like, is that how this works? And then everyone in the theater's like, probably.
All right. Mason Grode, missing mail in all caps. I don't think they're referring to us missing their mail. They're referring to something else.
Is it
We don't miss any
MALE?
mail. Yeah,
Hi,
they're
Brew
dead.
Crew.
we don't miss mail.
I've been listening to you guys for the past few months, and I love the content. By the way, like that opening line is honestly like real talk. One of the coolest things I can ever hear is saying, "I've been listening to you for a few months, not decades, not years." Like somebody
Where were you
organically.
for 10 years, idiot? I'm
Yep.
sorry. I'm sorry.
That's how Jason feels when he
That's
hears
how
the
I
same.
feel, but I
Yeah.
shouldn't have said
But,
how
like,
I feel.
No, you should. No.
Anytime somebody manages to like organically hack their way through the jungle that is the Twitter and social media or bevy of content creators available to them and just find us and click on us and then like sit along in the raft for a continued several months, that's just cool. Like, I don't know. I started an LLC for selling cards as of May of this year, and it's been a wild ride. See, the raft analogy paid off. I've navigated through the learning curve of being a new seller on TCG Player fairly well, but something odd and unfortunate has happened within the past couple weeks. I've hit an all-time record of people claiming their mail didn't arrive, almost to the point of 25% of my sales are missing. This has hit me pretty hard, and I was wondering if you guys have any advice on what to do from now on.
Yeah,
Thank you. Also,
Don't
wondering,
vote Republican.
Good
I mean,
advice, Jason. That'll do it.
We can fit a maximum of 2 Jason political rants in an episode, and you're verging on 3.
Listen, if you're doomsday prepping and you're not Louis DeJoy prepping, a man who could have been removed from his job 9 months ago and still hasn't, you should be prepping for DeJoy. I guess that is a real thing where stuff just doesn't show up. That's happened to me on my Twitter sales too, and it pisses me off.
If you were reaching 25%, that is an extremely like dangerous threshold. Like that's a very, very big number that you should be worried about. Like 1 to 4%, like even 4% is like a little high. I sit in between like the 2%. Like I think I bumped up from 1 to 2% over the past year and a half or so because of USPS systemic changes. But if you're reaching a 1 in 4 odds, like you need to immediately stop sending things out and contact your local USPS like person to find out like what's going on.
You don't dox them, but I wonder where they are. You know?
Well, what they're having there is a really localized problem, right? Even you tell me that there's some kind of issue at either the one most, the one closest to you, like somewhere just along the chain, right? There's some kind of USPS problem that is recurring and you're getting caught up in it. So if you can try to, you're surely not the only person who complains. So just reaching out, you might get someone who gives you information, and then they might say, well, if you're having, try this post office instead, and you may be able to find some workarounds.
There's a small chance that it could be something with the machine like destroying things the way you're packaging them.
Yeah.
Not to victim blame or whatever, but like there is a specific number of cards you can fit in an envelope, a plain white envelope that will go through the machine successfully. You can generally fit a card like up to 10 cards. You could technically do like 12. That's cutting it real close, but like 10 cards in a plain white envelope against a top loader team bag, and that will go through the regular machine. So I don't know what size envelopes you're using. There's like variables with like the amount of paper you're putting in with packing slips, like that kind of stuff.
It's just a lot of different explanations for what could be causing the
like
problem.
25% is an immediate like cease operation, stop sending things out until you figure out what's wrong, or sending everything with tracking, which I assume you're not willing to do, which you shouldn't. Like,
yeah, the first step, you're just gonna have to do some detective work, right? Like, because there's a bunch of different explanations for what could be causing that kind of a problem, and if nothing, it's what you're doing has changed from when you weren't having issues to when you are now. That's you're just gonna have to.
This year is when he started, so
yeah, you're just gonna have to Detective Pikachu your way out of this one to figure out where in the process the issue is occurring. But I would reach out, see if you can get a hold of a manager at the post office and the supervisor, see if they can point you in the right direction.
By Detective Pikachu, he means be an absent father.
Just be a Ryan Reynolds and buy a phone company, buy a mobile phone company. It'll solve all your problems.
Yeah, I don't watch commercials, so I don't know what Mint Mobile is.
All right, next
this,
email.
This is a bunch of paragraphs, but I think it's a good one.
What's
Organizing
their patron level?
Organizing/shipping questions from Colin Madison. Hey guys, I have a comment about proxies to satisfy Jason's curiosity. Parentheses, because I am the person in the middle of the Venn diagram he was looking for. I don't remember what reference that was, but and a question about inventory management tools. First, I am pro gold borders and anti-proxy because proxies create power creep over time in stores and play groups that gold border cards do not. The power level meta in a group are seen as self-correcting. If someone shows up with 5 proxies and has an edge, the next thing you know, everybody has to do that to keep up, and then it's 10, and it's a perfect mana and escalation to power levels. When looking at a single game night, there isn't much difference between the two, but gold borders don't give you a slippery slope that proxies do for gradually boiling the frog and poisoning the store's environment over time. I don't want to just have fun today. I want to keep having fun over time. Card price and availability isn't a perfect way to keep power creep from happening, but it goes a long way to sustaining casual metas.
Or buy real cards.
Yeah.
Okay, that's reasonable. I'm not going to shit on you for that. You defended your position well. And plus, the whole premise was that I think people like you don't exist. So they do exist.
Got him.
Fair.
Right, keep going, DJ.
Got him ish.
That's like a rare admission of like something. I don't know what that was, but that's a rare admission of something.
I acknowledged his
existence.
right to exist.
Question time. My question, what systems do you use for electronic inventory control? Scan in, scan out. I've got Delver Lens, which is fine for small batches, but I would never scan in a new collection with it. Too slow with duplicates and too inaccurate. I currently use Deckbox for overall inventory, but would love to hear if there are better options and what you guys do to keep your inventory accurate and save hours and hours of scanning or entering cards. Huge fan of the podcast, parentheses, sometimes even Corbin. Thanks, Colin. Sometimes.
I only inventory the stuff I have for sale, which I have the stuff, which DJ would call backstock, and then I have the stuff that is listed for sale. That is what is inventoried, and I use the inventory of the selling platform. Yep,
that's basically what I do. I have YouTubers can see the 5 rows behind me. Bunch of 5 rows goes all the way down the office. That's all the backstock, and then a couple of these 5 rows are TCG player inventory. I have a significant enough number of non-online orders from just like people messaging me that says, do you have X? That it is not worth me listing all of this. I'm currently a one-man operation and I don't have time to list 70,000 cards on TCG player and then pick those orders all day and buy and price and sort and file and list, etc. So I have my TCG inventory, which is roughly 10,000 cards or so. And then the rest of it is sustained via buy listing, arbitrage, etc. And so the TCG inventory of 10K cards, like Jason said, is just what I have inventoried. All the other backstock 5 rows are set sorted and alphabetized, but they are not like managed via a spreadsheet or a collection tracker system in any way, because there's no feasible way for me to do that as a single person.
Yeah. That seems reasonable. While we're on the subject, though, I do want to point out those boxes behind DJ and note that those are all BCW boxes. And if you recall the episode we did a few weeks ago on the best way to ship, store, handle your Magic collection, we talked a lot about BCW. And then DJ got in touch with them. Turns out they liked it, and they liked the episode, and they are offering a discount to anybody who wants to get some boxes or any of their other supplies
sorting
themselves.
Trays. So if you don't have BCW sorting trays, they will change your life. DJ has a video where he talks about how to use one sorting tray alphabetically to sort by set. I have 4 sorting trays because there are under 100 expansions, and I put every expansion in its own little slot, and then I have other stuff off in the little cups they have in the sorting trays. They are magical. Mm-hmm. You see the 4 sorting trays behind me? Those are BCW, baby! You can get 10% off if you use our promo code. That's very significant. Order 10 of the sorting trays and split them with your friends. Everybody could use one BCW sorting tray at least. So you'll be a hero if you buy a pack of 10 and then divvy them up.
Yep, there's a link in the description. Please use the affiliate link. It does help us out a little bit. And then promo code Brainstorm, lowercase. I don't know if case matters, but lowercase Brainstorm gets you 10% off your entire order. And then you also get free shipping on top of that when you hit a certain dollar threshold.
Remember, we're not shills for BCW. We literally gave them a ton of free advertising, and then we got mad that we did that. And then we went back and retroactively put a deal in place. That's what happened. I know we sound like shills, but like
no, it seems reasonable.
We just literally just use their products because they're useful. So take our advice.
Yeah. All right, DJ, next email.
What do we got from Jordan Ewers? Hey, Brew Crew, patron email. With the new unset coming up, what is the chance that the rules committee will unban silver border cards again? If so, what would you say are goodbyes in case of the unbanning? Full disclosure, I've already sunk $200 into things I think will go up in case of it. Thank you, Jordan the Incorrigible on Twitter. Sent from my Compy 386. That is a reference that I do not get.
Is that a dinosaur?
Compy, Compy, not Chompy.
Compy's a dinosaur.
Those
are the little ones in Jurassic Park that get Seinfeld guy. Right?
That was the one that spat acid at his face.
They're the little. Maybe they're the little ones that get the kid.
The little ones didn't get Wayne Knight. The one that spat acid in his face is the one that got him. Or did he fall and some different dinosaurs got him? Man,
the Compies got him, man.
Jurassic Park. The Compies? Get out of here. Compy is short for computer.
It is a Homestar Runner reference, apparently.
No, it's the comp. It's the comp.
Compy 386.
Compsognathus, one of the smallest known dinosaurs featured in the Lost World Jurassic Park.
I googled Compy 386 right now, and I'm telling you, it is a Homestar Runner.
Holy fucking shit! Corbin got that right the first time. He's been right. That was a Jurassic Park theme song.
Love that theme song. Go ahead.
What do you mean, go ahead?
Go ahead, answer. Let's go.
I don't remember the question.
It was, what uncards are you buying in hopes that they...
0. Okay, so here's the thing. If they do the unban for like a couple of days like they did before, that you're going to have as much, like... You're going to get as much flack from your play group as if you would if you just showed up and be like, I have silver border cards in here now. Like, it's a Rule 0 thing no matter what the rules committee says. So, like, having their amnesty day or whatever where the silver border stuff is unbanned, like, temporarily, that's not significant. It is as significant as you just convincing your play group to let you use silver border cards. It's not really going to be a thing. I wouldn't spend any money. If you've already invested money, it could go up just on the basis of, like, there is a non-zero amount of demand for silver border cards for collectability, for like crazy casual playability, for I have an uncube sort of a deal. Like an uncube would be tight because everything in there is unstuffed. That would be nice, man. And
I do think
go ahead. Sorry.
That I do think the demand will come from just the set existing. I think you're right that any sort of announcement they make will be negligible, but like there will be cards that come out that have synergy with old silver border cards, and then we'll see an Ulrich of the Krallen Horde where it's like people see point A, point B, silver border, go buy whatever the land is that adds watermark mana or whatever. Like that's probably the kind of stuff I'd start with first, like City of Ass or Water Border. Waterboarding mana. Yes, that's what I meant. Watermark mana. Yeah, I mean, I think that there are cards that you can pick up. I'd start with lands or things that have low supply with obvious synergy for potential silver border cards.
Don't do it. I'm saying don't do it.
I'm saying it's a very cheap buy-in. Like, they're what, like 8 cents now or whatever? Like, sure.
I think that they could unban. I think that the new silver bordered stuff could just legit be legal in Commander if it weren't for the fact that so much of the old silver bordered stuff cannot because it just doesn't work. But like unstable, most of those cards just worked in Commander most of the time. right? There's a whole bunch of cards that that are not legal in Commander because 10% of them don't work in Commander, and they're all under the same silver border umbrella. I don't know.
Sure. I mean, like there's some wacky stuff with like erase the text box or like steal the text box, but like it still functionally works, and you understand it. Yeah, I get it.
We spent a lot of time on this. Good luck, man. I hope you make money, but
I'm not as down on it as Jason is here, but
it's a fine penny stock. Like it's whatever. You buy a brick of like 58-cent rares, and they go to $1, and you're like, wee.
Yeah, and they might just go up over time because that stuff's cool. Like I like that. I'm not a curmudgeon. I like playing with that stuff, but like you don't get to play with that stuff as often.
Mm-hmm. All right, next up, it is time for Pick of the Week, brought to you as always by this podcast sponsor, MTG Stocks, where we go to look up all of this stuff. Since mtgstocks.com will give you the interests of all the cards that have gone up on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. You can look at sealed product. You can look at what the cards are pre-ordering for, and you can navigate to several different websites to buy cards from there. So we use MTG Stocks for all of our price tracking needs, which in this podcast case is quite a few. It's almost exclusively how I make my picks of the week.
It almost exclusively, he said, lying. You're being modest, Corbin. It's how you pick all your picks of the week.
Exclusively,
you could do your own pick of the week at the LGS. It's like a magic trick. You're like, Alakazam, I can tell you a card that's gonna go up. And then you tell them, they're like, wow, that price is already up. And you're like, I knew it. I picked a card that's going to go up 2 days ago. MTGstocks.com. Astound your gullible friends.
That is an accurate description of how you make your picks.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
We did the thing.
All right. So I have a card that has bottomed out from its pre-release hype and peak. It didn't really have any hype. This card was caught up in the turbulence of Modern Horizons 2. A lot of more flashy cards. This is just sort of the generic Mythic Angel of the set that I think has a potential to quietly creep up to 7 or 8. This is Sarah's Emissary. It is a 7-mana 7/7 flyer. Enter the battlefield, choose a card type. You and creatures you control have protection from the chosen card type. You can choose creatures and just kill people. You can choose artifacts. You can choose whatever you want, really. It's probably mostly just creatures, sorceries, and artifacts. But it's just a big angel that will kill people, and it's like $3. So this is a card that I think will stay under the radar. It's not something super talked about. It's not a frequently discussed card. I just think that this will quietly get slurped up by non-competitive players over the time.
Don't say slurp. I don't know why.
I like that one.
I don't like the word slurp. I just realized that. Some people like, I don't like the word moist, and I'm like, oh, you're a wuss. What's wrong with that? And then he said slurp.
That was
the
it for
flavor
you.
text on convolute, something like the spell was counter with a satisfying slurp, and I was like, ugh.
I don't know.
Nothing good has ever been slurped.
What about like a frosty?
You eat a Frosty with a spoon, you heathen.
Or your French fries.
Or French fries.
Because Wendy's French fries are unacceptable. They're bad.
Fine.
I think they're fine, but I mean, they're not
French
like...
fries are unacceptable. McDonald's French fries are F tier.
They are the
That's
gold
a hot take.
standard.
Yeah, that's a hot take, DJ.
I don't really eat fries, but McDonald's fries are like the only fries I like. My goodness.
They're so tiny, they're not usable.
Incredible.
Oh, so you like steak fries?
I like Burger King fries. Burger King fries are like A tier.
Burger King fries are the worst fries. They redid them. They were that bad.
I'm just shocked. I shouldn't be, but come on. I'm just going to give you a pick of the week. I can't anymore.
I like Burger King's burgers, but I don't get fries there at all, man. They got onion rings, and they're the worst onion rings on the planet, and they're still better than their fries.
I've got
a lot of curly fries are good too. Like there's a lot of curly fries that are good, but like McDonald's fries are F tier.
Who has curly fries besides Arby's?
Arby's.
I have not been to an Arby's in 8 years.
Yeah.
Arby's has the best
It had been 8 years
shake.
before that.
We've gone over this bridge before, but Arby's has the best Shamrock Shake, or at least they used to.
It's not even a real thing.
Corbin?
I'm ready to do a pick of the week. All right, I'm going to actually try to talk about Magic cards here. Anyways, my pick of the week is this is really bold of me to assume here, but if Magic gets played in paper in 2022 and anybody in the world plays Standard, Ezekiel's Chariot is going to go up from the $2.50 it's at right now to probably $4 or $5.
When does that set rotate?
That's Kaldheim.
Oh, is
right?
that Kaldheim? Why was I thinking it was Throne of Eldraine? Oh, because none of this matters. That's I haven't cared about a set rotation in about 2 years, so
I understand, but you know what? Chariot's been creeping up. The card's already
Chariot's
been good.
very good.
Yeah, it
This
was
is the
good.
First time I've ever seen this card in my life.
It's so good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, so watch Magic coverage, DJ. Come on.
I did.
It
competes.
competes.
That's not an option.
It competes
on
with
Magic
Eldraine
coverage.
Standard. It competes with Eldraine Standard cards, and therefore it's going to be one of the most powerful things after rotation.
Yeah, that's a
and
good
I-
point. Once
yeah.
Bone Crusher Giant and all that bullshit is gone, yeah, wow. I can't even imagine what Standard will look like without Throne.
Yep. But this card, I think, will
How did
have a shot.
Card fly under the this card is the
What
epitome.
radar? You don't have your radars turned off.
It was.
You don't have a radar. Your radar is
40
driving to
cents
buy
for like
collections.
a year. This card was like 40 cents for 9 months. It flew
It
under the
hasn't
radar.
been out for a year.
Almost a year.
Look, it was 1 million sets ago. Kaldheim was February. That's some old
I
shit,
was just
man.
gonna pitch. I was gonna say this card is the epitome of your like smuggler copter farmer thing. It's two cats driving a car. Like what?
Yeah, why wasn't this in Throne of Eldraine? It's a bunch of animals driving a pumpkin or something. I don't know.
Yeah, like
It is a pretty Throne of Eldraine card. I don't know what Kaldheim's
I
thing
bet
is.
they tried to
but-
put this in Throne of Eldraine. They're like, it's too good for Throne of Eldraine. And they put it in Kaldheim, and everyone's like, we don't give a shit about Kaldheim. There's another set coming out in 2 weeks.
Yup.
Ristic
And-
Studies made a video about Kaldheim, and by the time it came out, we were 3 expansion sets after. We did it. We gave you an expansion set every 3 weeks. We went on Jim Cramer's show and said, Magic the Gathering makes us a lot of money, but what if we released a sarcastic number of expansion sets? And then all the investors went, and then all the players went, please stop. And then they all went, they're like, we're flesh and blood cosplayers now. Even people who didn't cosplay before. That's what happened with Kaldheim. Can you tell me can you name 5 legendary creatures from Kaldheim? You can't. They spent 2 years writing enough lore to justify 30 legendary creatures in that set, and you can't name 5 of them.
wait. We've gone through like 3 pitches this week, I think, or ish. MTG stocks, the one that's yet to come.
BCW.
No, in the BCW, yes. So we have attempted to secure some of your funds for other people, but we have not attempted to secure your funds for us. So Jason did a cosplay for this podcast. He was Guy Fieri a very long time ago. Corbin was some unidentified merfolk basketball player. I don't know what he was.
Just some Atlantean with basketball shorts is like, hey, I was near the Suez Canal and there was an entire box of these just floating.
If we hit the 500 patron threshold, we haven't done this in a while. If we hit the 500 patron threshold, I will have my wife make me a flesh and blood cosplay of the voter's choice.
Wow. We Flesh and Blood podcast now.
I don't know anything about the game. These two were talking about it at the start of the cast. I have no idea what the they were saying. But there's our one F word. But
the game is not complicated. It's like you have 3 cards in your hand. Are you going to attack with them or block with them? And you're like, I don't know. And you're like, yeah, you're getting it.
If we hit that threshold, which can be accessed for as little as $1 a month,
which will get you access to the Discord. Come on, it's 20 or
it's not a dollar amount
episode.
threshold. It's a number of patrons threshold. 500 patrons. I will cosplay whatever y'all want. Vote in the Discord for all I care.
Yep. Cool. We did it.
I like it. Jason, give me a pick of the week.
My pick of the week is Necrotic Ooze because of Old Stick Finger. Stick Fingers lets you put stuff in your graveyard, and it's a graveyard combo between Necrotic Ooze, which is $5, and Phyrexian Devour, which is 90, I think. I don't know. It's on the reserve list. So get your Necrotic Oozes now.
I love that card so much.
Oh, yeah. It's always just kind of good. And it's always a combo with the Phyrexian Devour, and they'll print another card that combos with Necrotic
I
Ooze
would specifically
soon.
recommend getting the Secret Lair versions. Because it has one.
The Secret Lair Oozes all looked pretty cool. It all looked like Super Jail. So that was a cool Secret Lair. I like that one. The Void. I play with the
I like
Void
that
Slime,
one
the
too.
Skoos. I like. Did you say I like that one? Did you say I like that one?
No, he said I like that one.
Oh, stop it. Oh, it's like
Right in the microphone.
I said I like
it's like
that one too.
RSMA. It's whatever the opposite of ASMR
I don't know what that means, man. Oh, yeah, I'm getting
didn't know
dunked
that?
on for the audio quality in an
When we
Airbnb.
stream-
Come on.
when we stream and somebody like subscribes or something like that, JJ hasn't play a clip that's you going, I like that one, like right
I
in the
like
mic.
that
And
one.
it's just the worst. It's like I describe it as like the feeling
Wait,
when
Corbin,
you were a
Corbin.
kid and your dad took a dump and then you sit on the toilet seat and it's warm. It's that uncomfortable.
Corbin, say slurp into the mic.
Don't say slurp. I'll quit this podcast. I swear to God, I will. I was gonna make it to episode 500. I will quit right now if you say the word slurp.
All right, we'll save that silver bullet for later.
God, why? Why would I tell you my one weakness?
It's the Neil Patrick Harris punch. Or the slap.
Wow. Anyway,
All right, nerds.
before we get out of here, we want to read one more email. So, DJ, wrap up the episode with one final email for this mailbag episode.
All right. This one's from Lane Frost with a slippery bogle avatar. Brew Crew, first off, hashtag shut up Corbin.
That's a throwback.
That's a
Yeah.
while. Okay, now that we don't have to worry about useless BFE Oklahoma stories, I wanted to give you all a huge thank you for the many years of casts. I am a longtime listener, having started listening to the cast somewhere around episode 50 or so, back when I was 12 or 13 years old.
Oh,
You
wow.
should not have been listening.
That's something.
Parentheses, yes, DJ is a boomer to me, and have emailed a time or two in the
Wow.
past. I recently started a warehouse job where I could have headphones on all day, so I decided to go back as far as the Apple Podcast app would let me. This is why
Oh,
I was trying to
gosh.
figure out like the
Yeah.
episode 360 and listen from there. And let me tell you what 8 straight hours of PSP will do to you. My ears are stuck in a continual state of bleeding. My brain cries in the pain of having to hear every single Jason pun, but the nostalgia is worth it. Now that I am mostly caught up through the app, I plan on going back
I'm
all
the bad part. Me?
I plan on going back all the way to episode 1 and listening to and it's just a bit trickier from a mobile device unless anyone knows of a secret trip because all the OG episodes are on the website, brainstormbrewery.com. Anyways, I don't have a question for you all. More so just wanted to thank you all for the 8+ years of content. All the way from Ray Future / Current Pro to Brainstorm Nursery to they wrote Brainstorm Nursery twice, and to all the future content and jokes this cast provides. Thank you for all you do to bring entertainment to this small corner of the world. Now go eat your cheese, nerds, and go F yourself, San Diego. Lane. P.S. If this email ends up in the vault and you don't end up reading it until 2028, I understand it will be Corbin's fault and look forward to hearing the response anyways.
Hey, is it 2028? I'm legal now, boys.
That was,
sent from my Nintendo GameCube's Game Boy Player attachment, which I had as a kid.
Nice. That was very
You
kind.
did.
Thank you very
You
much.
probably used it to play some sort of Game Boy Pokemon game, didn't you?
Oh, I
all-
played
it's all I
Pokemon Yellow
played.
on the big screen, man. It was a world. It was a changer. It was a world changer.
A world changer.
It was a
he
world.
says.
It was a changer. It was a world changer.
All right. And on that note, let's talk about one last thing we want to shout out this week. We want to talk about our good friends over at originalmagic.art.store and a special project that they're involved in coming up. DJ, do you want to tell everyone about that?
Yeah, so Johann Voss is a very notable magic artist that you have probably heard of. He's done some very iconic cards as far back as Scars of Mirrodin. He did the original Restoration Angel. He did the original Blood Artist. He's done a lot of really cool stuff since then. The I guess infamous isn't the right word because there's nothing wrong with it. It's very good. But the famous doggo planes, the little white dog in the Field of Flowers, he did that. And he is doing his first Kickstarter for Playmats, which is huge. He's never done Playmats before, but you can support the Kickstarter through our affiliate link in the description, and you can get some really, really cool Playmats in time for the holidays for any of your friends. Playmats are a thing, right? Every Magic player has 1 million Playmats. Every Magic player has hundreds of Playmats. I have a stack back there I can make a bet out of. But most of them are trash, and you know this.
You can make a stack. You can make a bet out of 1 playmat, though. Like if you're 5'2", you're like, I got so many playmats, I can sleep on them. Yeah, that doesn't really mean much.
But there's very few good playmats, and Gift of Orzhova as a playmat, that's a good playmat. So like most of your other playmats that you've gotten from GPs, that you've gotten from Magic Fest, that you've gotten from like Star City events where it has like a weird elephant on it, throw them out. Can't sell them. Just get the good stuff. Get the good stuff using our affiliate link.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week.